Wisconsin fans? How we doing today on this Friday? Happy Friday, everybody! Getting done with the work week here. Sad news we're going to be talking about today. We're going to focus a lot on the Brewers in this podcast here, and we're going to talk all Brewers, what we saw in this last series against the Dodgers, the struggle, and maybe we can figure it out together what we think the Brewers should do next. But with that, I'm your host, Trage, here on Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. Here we go. We're going to kick it off with the Brewers. We watched them drop Game 3, got swept by the Dodgers last night. Pompous came in the 8th inning. Burns, a solid outing to start it for the Brewers here. Looking at the stat line here for Burns, he went 7 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, lowered that ERA down to 3.43. Pappas came in for him in the 8th inning. 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned on 1 home run by Austin Barnes. Gave up the first home run of the season to Austin Barnes. Never good to give up that first home run. Pappas, finally, he left one over the plate, left it hang. We watched it fly. Nothing you can do about that. What you can do something about, though, is watching this Brewers offense. You look at their offense in this game. Yelich had a hit. Frelick had a hit early on. Terang had 1 hit. And Tyrone Taylor came through with 2 knocks for the Brewers. That was it. That was it for this Brewers team. Looking down the stat line here, you look at their strikeouts in the game. Adames, 4 strikeouts. Willie Adames, your starting shortstop, 4 strikeouts on the game. You think it's almost time where we pull the plug? Where we just say enough's enough with Willie Adames? There really isn't anything more that we want to see out of you. There isn't anything more that you can prove to me this season right now looking at your bat. He's got his average down to 201. If he plays game 1 against the Rangers and struggles, he's going to drop below 200. Is it about time that we say enough's enough with Willie Adames and we just get him out of this lineup? Sit him on the bench. I don't care what you do with Willie Adames. He's right now a waste of a spot in this starting lineup for the Brewers. We don't give Abraham Toro a shot off the bench right now for the Brewers. He's sitting there on the bench, 8 for 18 on the season, a 444 average, 2 home runs. We don't see Abraham Toro. We don't get a shot at seeing Abraham Toro. Owen Miller, currently sitting down with AAA Nashville right now. The Brewers sent him down earlier on this season. 264 average when he went down from the Brewers. Sitting at a 289 average right now in AAA. Owen Miller is, what are we going to do? Just leave him down there to rot? He really couldn't hurt what the Brewers have going on right now in the at the major league level. Even a guy like Keston Hiura, talked about him yesterday, 309 average down there at AAA Nashville, can play first base, can play the outfield for you. Right now, Carlos Santana, he's not really coming up with much for me. You look at his stat line right now. Oh, where did he go? It's hard to find him here at the bottom of the list. A 167 average with the Brewers right now, 11 strikeouts, 2 walks, 23 total bases, 7 RBIs, and 4 home runs. So he's a home run guy. You don't think we have enough guys swinging for the fences? We don't have a lot of guys achieving that, but we have a lot of guys swinging for it. Looking at other guys right now, that's where even like looking at Mark Canha. Canha's been hitting better as of late. Why is Mark Canha not in this lineup here when you're facing a sweep against the Dodgers? Burns on the mound. Why are you not playing your guys? Your guys who have put you in the position all this stretch here where you looked good against the White Sox. You won some games. Canha was a big part of that. Why is Canha not out there for you? Had a home run here in this series. Why is he not out there for game 3? And then we look and we see a guy like we were talking, Willie Adames, 201 average now. 0 for 4 in this game with 4 strikeouts. Give him the golden sombrero and get him out of the lineup. That's all I got to say for Willie Adames right now. I love Willie Adames. I love him as a guy. I love him as a person. Love him as a guy in the clubhouse. I hate his bat. I hate his bat right now. There is nothing more than I want to watch than Willie Adames on the bench right now, because with Willie Adames' bat in this lineup, it gets 10 times worse. This lineup is drooping. And why is he batting in the 5 spot? Tell me that. If we really look at this, why is Willie Adames batting in the 5 spot for the Brewers right now? A spot where you look for RBIs. You look for a guy who is another power hitter who can get on for you. Willie Adames is not that guy right now. He leads the team in home runs, 18 home runs. Good for him. Besides that, there's really nothing he has to show for a productive season right now. 18 home runs, 51 RBIs. That's about it for him. 122 strikeouts on the season. Yelich's got 106 strikeouts. I'll give him that. He's got 106 strikeouts in 117 games versus Willie Adames' 109. But with Christian Yelich, I'm getting 129 hits also. I'm getting 59 walks. I'm getting 25 stolen bases, and I'm getting a 287 average with Christian Yelich. With Willie Adames, I'm getting strikeout or, right now, strikeout. Strikeout or little ground ball or really high fly to center, and there's the third out of the inning. That's all we're getting out of a guy like Willie Adames right now. Nothing pretty. It's a struggle. When do you pull the plug? I really do think the plug needs to be pulled here pretty soon on a guy like Willie Adames. Put Terang at short. Put Monasterio at second base. Put Abraham Toro at third. Put Toro there until Toro proves to you he can't hit. I don't think Brian Anderson's going to be the answer at third base. I really don't. With his fielding, yes. He runs through hot and cold streaks. Maybe you get him at a time he's hot, you throw him at third base. But right now, ride with Abraham Toro. 444 average. Until he drops, until he proves that he can't hit at the major league level, because what we've seen so far out of Abraham Toro this season, he can hit at the major league level. I don't see a point on why you can't have him in there. And looking at a guy like Owen Miller sitting down in AAA, bring him back up. He can play third. He can play second. Heck, he can play first base if you really need him. Bring Owen Miller back up to this ball club before people start to lose their minds, because this offense is atrocious right now. And we're going to get to more of those stats there of the offense after we talk a little bit of this Dodgers series. So we look across the board here at the Dodgers series. Game 1, lost that game 6-2 there. Dodgers controlled it, had that big sixth inning against the Brewers. Hauser didn't look bad in that game. Pitched 5 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 6 strikeouts for him. Milner came in, gave up a couple runs, and then Wilson came out of the back end and pitched pretty good for the Brewers. That game, like we talked about, hitting was a struggle. That's about it. That's all there needs to be said in that game. Was hitting was a struggle for the Brewers. Then we look at game 2, 7-1 loss by the Brewers. We look down the stat line there. The Dodgers were in control of that game basically from the get-go. Went up 1-0. Brewers tied it at 1 apiece. Then it was 3-1, 4-1, and then it was a downhill slope from there. This offense couldn't get going in that game either. Wade Miley took the loss in that one. 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 runs total, 7 hits, 2 strikeouts, 1 home run given up. Another game where a pitcher threw a quality start and this offense couldn't back it. And that's where we're looking here with the Brewers. Abner Uribe came into that game. Actually, they ended up giving Abner no earned runs on the game, 2 runs given up in total, and then Chafin with a run given up after that. And then we look at game 3 here that just finished last night. Pampas took the loss for the Brewers. He gave up that home run to Austin Barnes. Offense, we just talked about it, struggle top to bottom. And Burns, 7 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. Pampas, 2 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 earned run, and an inning of relief. It's like this offense just sets this team up for failure. Your pitching staff can only hold so much. They can only hold so many 1-run leads. They can only hold so many 0-0, 1-1 ties. They can only hold it for so long. They are going to have a hiccup. The problem is, after that run was given up there in the 8th, I was ready to just start shooting a podcast and say, hey, this game is over. This game is over right now. I don't even have to watch this 9th inning. Sal Frelick was the only bright spot in that 9th inning. Drew a walk, stole second base. That was about it for the Brewers. Willie Adames came up, struck out. You even listen to Jeff Levering talking on there, and he said they're going to pitch him off the plate. Or I think it might have been Tim Dillard who was talking when he said it. He said they're going to pitch him outside. They said, we'll face Monasterio here, but Willie Adames, we're going to pitch him outside half, and we're going to get him to chase. What did he do? He's chased. You can sit there and you can tell yourself, we know what's going to happen in this at bat. That's not good. That's where the Brewers need to adjust, and they really need to look at this offense here, because we go look at the stats of this Brewers team. Total at bats on the season, they're ranked 28th in the league. Total runs, 22nd in the league. Hits, total hits, 28th in the league right now. Doubles, they're ranked 27th. Triples, 26th. Home runs, 22nd. RBIs, they're ranked 21st in the league. They are ranked 5th in the league in walks. I'll give them that. They draw their walks. Hit by pitches, they're ranked 22nd. Mark Canha got added late. Otherwise, they might be a little bit higher. He likes to get hit. Strikeouts, 20th in the league. Caught stealing, 20th. Stolen bases, they're ranked 11th. Team average, 28th in the league. 28th. You're at the bottom. You're just above the... I don't even think they're above the A's. If I had to be honest with you, I don't think they're above the A's in team batting average. Hold on, let me check it out here. Let's see who the Brewers are actually above in team batting average. The Yankees and the A's. They're above the Yankees and the A's. The Kansas City Royals, one of the worst teams in baseball, actually have a better team average than the Brewers do right now. Take that into perspective for a second. And you look at this team average, 232. Oakland A's, 223. Just below the Milwaukee Brewers in team average right now. That tells you how much this offense is slumping. You look at on-base percentage right now, 24th, and then slugging percentage, 29th. There's your batting stats for this Brewers team. Compare it to the pitching staff for this Brewers team right now. Wins for the Brewers right now, 9th. Losses, they're ranked 7th. ERA, they're 12th in the league. Games started, 12th. Complete game, 17th. They don't have a complete game this year. Shutouts, no shutouts in the season. 14th. Saves, they have 6. They're 6th in the league with 37. Hits given up, they're actually 2nd in the league in hits given up, 948. So that looks pretty good for the pitching staff. Earned runs, 12th. They don't give up a lot of runs. So you look at the losses. Where are their losses coming? The offense cannot score to help the pitching staff with these earned runs. Then we look at home runs given up, 21st in the league. They like to give up the long ball. You look at Freddie Peralta's blow-up innings, Adrian Hauser's blow-up innings. If Burns or Woodruff give up runs, Wade Miley, it's usually the long ball. And you look at the bullpen, too. It's a long ball issue. They got to keep the ball on the ground. Looking at walks, 11th in the league. Hit by pitches, 13th. And strikeouts, they're ranked 16th. Pitching staff, solid. Hitting, terrible. And then we'll look at a little more advanced stats for the Brewers off of that here. And looking at this Brewers team right now, their runs per game, they are ranked from the bottom, 10th from the bottom right now. So they are ranked 20th in all of baseball right now in runs scored. That runs scored on the season, you look at a top team like the Atlanta Braves, the Dodgers, who you just played, who you're going to be playing next, and the Texas Rangers. Braves, 702. Brewers, 516. We look at total hits on the season right now. Rangers lead the league with 1,141. The Brewers, 928. Home runs, Braves, far above everybody else, 232. But you look at a more practical team, practical saying that the Braves are just nuts. The Dodgers sitting at 188, and then you look down at the Brewers, 127. We look at RBI totals. The Atlanta Braves come in at 678, followed by the Texas Rangers at 661, and then we look down at the Brewers, 494. Looking at some other stats here for the Brewers, we look at total bases on the season. The Braves, 2,057. The Milwaukee Brewers, second to last, 1,506. That is just ridiculous. We look at ground into double plays. The Brewers have actually grounded into the 5th most double plays on the season with 97. The Braves have ground into a lot of double plays, but the difference is the Braves score the runs. They grounded double plays, but they put traffic on the base paths right now. And we look at a team average with runners in scoring position. The Brewers 232, 232 with runners in scoring position. That's just ridiculous for this Brewers team. Just are atrocious stat wise for the Brewers right now on the season. It's speechless. It leaves people speechless looking at this Brewers offense right now. I don't know what you have to do. It's almost like you have to change the philosophy. You have to change this philosophy of this team and just say to yourself, okay, what do we have to do different? What can we do different? If it's bunting, if we have to lay down a couple more bunts in the game here to advance runners, get guys on, advance them over, and then work from there. If it's more time in the batting cage before these games, if it's less messing around in I don't know the inner workings of the clubhouse, but if it's less messing around, more business, there is no definite answer that you could come up with for this Brewers team right now. This offense is just atrocious to watch. I don't have an answer for it. They can rough up some bad teams. Colorado scored 12 runs against them one game, scored 7 runs against them next game. White Sox, 7 runs in game 1, 7 runs in game 3, and then 3 runs in game 2. But then you play good teams like the Dodgers. You put up 2 runs, you put up 1 run, you put up no runs. This gets scary because you look at this schedule, you have to go to the Rangers now. And we look at the NL Central standings right now. And I was watching the Cardinals play earlier. Chicago Cubs, Cincinnati Reds, both 2 games back of the Brewers now. So now you play the Rangers. You go down to Texas to play the Rangers here for a 3-game set with the Cubs and the Reds both clawing at your heels. Can you pull off a win in Texas against one of the best teams in the AL and in all of baseball right now? Game 1, you're going to get Brandon Woodruff against Heaney. Woodruff will give you a good game. He'll give you a good game on the mound. Can you back it with this offense? Can this offense go after Heaney? 9-6 on the season, a 4.17 ERA. He's been struggling. He gives up runs. Can the Brewers take advantage of it? And do the Brewers need to make some changes before they get to it? Because right now, I see a lot of changes that need to be made on this Brewers roster, especially on the offense, mostly on the offensive side of it right now. They really need to, if they have to dig into AAA, if they have to dig into AA right now, find somebody who can get on base consistently for you, semi-consistently. Even another Andrew Monasterio coming up for this Brewers team. If you had another guy like Monasterio on this team, yes, in this series he had a little bit of a struggle, but you look at his hard hit ball rate in this series, he had a lot of hard hit balls just right at guys. And that's the story of this series for the Brewers, and you heard Craig Counsell talk about it in every postgame. Oh, we're just unlucky. Oh, we're just unlucky. They didn't play any different than the Dodgers did. Dodgers, you know what they did? They found holes. They found holes in this defense of the Brewers. The Brewers shifted them the same way the Dodgers did. The Brewers just hit right into it. Flip side, you look at the Dodgers, they hit it through every hole. The Brewers, they couldn't hit the Grand Canyon with a tic-tac in this series. And you look at the Dodgers, and I mean, they found every little hole there possibly was to find in this Brewers defense in the infield. They hit it on the ground right through it. So with that, I just don't I don't see an automatic fix for this Brewers offense. I think there's ways you can fix it, and I think it's going to have to be digging into AAA a little bit, getting Owen Miller back up to the ball club here in the big leagues, let him go, and work with Abraham Toro let Abraham Toro play, and maybe call a guy like Keston Hiura up. It's last resort time. Keston Hiura is the cavalry you call in at the end that you really didn't want to call in, but now we have to call him in to make it work. That's what it's looking like with Keston Hiura right now. That's what it's looking like with the Brewers. We need to make a last effort to throw some kind of offense on the field right now, and I think Keston Hiura might be that guy for this Brewers team. Other than that, I mean, Rowdy, you can pray for Rowdy to come back good. You can pray for a guy like Jesse Winker. He's at high A right now. You can pray for him to come back and start hitting the ball for you. I just don't see it. Though I don't see those guys, Rowdy Tellez and Jesse Winker, coming back to the ball club and just making that automatic impact where they're just blowing it up. I just don't see it. I really don't. If we're praying for that, we might not win that. We might not get what we want. I do think a guy like Owen Miller really needs to be called back up to the ball club here. And then mix and match, find somebody down there in AAA. Keston Hiura could be called up for the Brewers. Maybe catcher Peyton Henry could be called up here pretty soon, batting .303 down there in AAA. Even a guy like Sky Bolt, left fielder, batting .277 down in AAA. Guys, I mean, it's I know they don't have the track record for it, and I know they might not be the complete answer, but they could add that spark. And what's it to lose at this point with this Brewers team? So back to the Rangers, Brewers tonight, 7:05 first pitch in Arlington for the Brewers here. Woodruff, Heaney. Woodruff's coming into the game 2-1 with a 1.99 ERA. Heaney, like I said, coming in at 9-6 with a 4.17. A lefty on the mound. Expect to see more of your right-handed lineup from Craig Counsell tonight for the Brewers. And then looking for the weekend here in Game 2 of the series, we're going to have Freddie Peralta versus Dunning from the Rangers. Freddie Peralta coming into the game at 9-8 with a 4.08 ERA. Dunning's coming into the game at 9-4 with a 3.10 ERA. Looking for Sunday for the Brewers, that'll be a 1:35 start. Brewers get Max Scherzer again. They got to deal with Scherzer. 12-4 record, a 3.67 ERA, and Adrian Hauser gets the ball for the Crew, 4-4 with a 4.43 ERA. You gotta pick the offense has got to pick it up Game 1 and Game 2, because once it gets to Game 3, you're going to need all the offense, because this Rangers team can hit, and Adrian Hauser will only be able to hold them down for so long. Freddie Peralta, he can hold his own. He's been pitching better as of late, and Woodruff, we know what Woodruff can do. He can hold his own. But with that, this Brewers offense, that's going to be the highlight of the weekend. Can the Brewers offense pick it up? They just got swept. Can they figure it out and move on from a terrible, terrible outing against the Dodgers? Maybe going down to Arlington, maybe that helps them out before they have to come back home there next week for the Twins. Get an off day on Monday, and maybe that'll help out a little bit too. But that is what I got with these Brewer team right now. It's just a struggle on the offensive side, and it's going to be a wait and see for this Brewers team, and we are just all praying and hoping for some magic to come out of Milwaukee here. Find a stick, find some lightning, I don't know. Get hit. They're going to have to get hit by a pitch here pretty soon. I don't know, something to get the offense sparked. But I don't have the complete answers for this one. I think they need to make some roster moves. I think they need to have some team meetings. I think they need to get players together and figure out how they are going to right the ship on the offensive side of the ball here. But with that, that's about all I got for this episode here. I just wanted to cover this last Brewers series and really get into the offensive struggles and just see what you guys think. And I'm always open. If you guys have any comments, anything you want to throw at me, hit me up on the Instagram page, Whisk Sports on the Go on Instagram. Shoot me a DM on there. Give me some questions. Give me your thoughts, even on one of our posts on there. Also, you can comment on our podcast page, give a review, shout out your questions or replies on there. And I'd love to go over it with you guys and really get to the bottom of what you guys think. Or check out the Facebook page. It's a combined one with the Trage and KJ's Locker Room Chats page. So check it out on there. Give us a follow, shoot us some questions, shoot us your reply, and tell us what you think with this Brewers team and what they can do moving forward. But with that, this has been Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Deuces, Brew Crew.